Max Fisher is a very active student at the private school Rushmore. Starts with lots of clubs, he writes plays, and he does all this stuff, maybe a little bit too much. Because he's also failing all of his classes and he is in danger of getting expelled. And then he falls in love with one of the teachers at Rushmore, and that creates even more problems. To top it all off, Max is a huge weirdo and kind of a sociopath. Wes Anderson directed this movie, and he directed it pretty early in his career, so he's not quite at that level that he was at Royal Tenenbaums. The shots aren't all super unique in the way they're framed, and they don't all have this beautiful color palette like his later films do. But what this film lacks in technical expertise and visual artistry, it more than makes up for in humor and heart. There are shades of Wes Anderson's style in this film. The dry humor, the way that characters deliver their dialogue. Some of the shots are unique and odd. In a lot of Wes Anderson films, they don't go the way you expect them to. This one is very much that. And of all the Wes Anderson films I've seen, this is the most emotionally effective one. Every Wes Anderson film at some point effectively changes into a drama, and when it does that here, it is so heartbreaking. You feel for these characters so much, and the situations that they're put in are just so horrific to watch. It just makes you feel so sad. When the characters are at their lowest of lows, they just become so relatable, even though they're these weird, crazy people. In some ways, it gets you to think about your own life, everything that you've done, all the mistakes you made, and what that would mean for your future. And the harsh manner in which life treats these characters makes the ending that much more satisfying. Jason Schwartzman as Max Fisher is some of the most perfect casting ever. The way that he delivers his lines in this weirdly professional manner, but you can still tell that he's just some loser, idiot teenage kid. He's somehow able to be both larger than life and relatable. And the character of Max Fisher has all these different flaws. He does all these things that are pretty terrible and schemy things to do. But you still feel for him, you still relate to him, because Jason Schwartzman gives such a phenomenal performance. I've got to take a moment to talk about the plays that Max Fisher puts on. They're literally just classic movies. One of them is Serpico and one of them is Apocalypse Now. It's even better because all the actors in those plays are like school kids, so that they're not all that great in terms of acting. And it's also great because the school that he goes to, it's like grades K through 12. So you've got like teenage boys acting with little kids, and they're all just in these scenes of extreme violence where they're just shooting guns at each other. And no one can make those scenes work like Wes Anderson does. The dry manner in which he presents those plays just makes it all the more hilarious. Bill Murray is so amazing as Max's rich and older friend. He's this sad, sad character. His kids suck. His wife doesn't care about him. He's completely unsatisfied with his life. And some of the horrible things that he does, you still feel for him because of just how sad he is. Of course, who better to be in a Wes Anderson movie than Bill Murray, the king of dry humor? Every single comedic line that he delivers is perfection. Every single thing that his character is thinking is written right across Bill Murray's face. And this was kind of the beginning of Bill Murray showing that he could do something more than just comedy. He could be a great actor. Olivia Williams plays the teacher that Max is in love with, and you can see why he's in love with her. This teacher is a widow, and now Max is trying to win her affection, and she keeps telling him no. The way her character acts feels like a realistic approach to the guy with a crush story. She's able to figure out, okay, this kid's got a crush on me, I gotta tell him no. But you never hate her, you never blame her for any of the reactions she has to these people. You feel just as sorry for her as you do for Max. And she's still going through her own emotional struggle with the death of her husband and all these other things. And Olivia Williams portrays all of that brilliantly. Rushmore is a very funny and effective film with lots of great performances, and it'll probably make you cry. And while it might not be Wes Anderson's most technically impressive film, it is, as far as I know, his most emotionally effective one. Also, as always with the Wes Anderson film, a fantastic soundtrack. I'm going to give Rushmore an A+.
Met a girl, fell in love, glad as I can be. Met a girl, fell in love, bad as I can be. But I think all the time, is she true to me? 'Cause there's nothing in this world to stop me worrying about that girl. I found out I was wrong, she was just too timing. I found out I was wrong, she just kept on lying. Now she tries to tell the truth, but I just can't believe. 'Cause there's nothing in this world to stop me worrying about that girl.